Alright guys, so welcome back to some more Apex. I hope you're having a very good day as always. Now the gameplay you guys are watching in the background today is actually my first ever 20+ game in Apex. I got this recently. I also made a full video on this, but most of you guys haven't actually seen this gameplay as yet. So it should be interesting for you guys to watch this in the background. As I said, it's my first ever 20 bomb in Apex. And it was fun. This game was hectic as well. I was playing duos, not trios, and I was also playing with a random, so I was playing solo. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you want to see the full gameplay with me like talking through it and stuff, I'll leave a link down below. Go check out that video as well. But enough talk guys, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're less than 900 subs away from 25k at this point guys, so if you still haven't clicked that sub button, feel free to subscribe. It helps me out so much, and 25k, we're almost there guys. So enough talk, let's get into this video. Alright, so first up guys, I want to talk about a potential crypto buff. Now crypto has been buffed many times recently, especially in season 4. He was also buffed at the start of season 5, and I personally have seen some very good crypto players, and I think that crypto right now is in a very good state. I don't really see how Respawn would go about giving crypto a buff, because I think that his drone right now is in a good state, his abilities seem balanced, but Jason McCord actually gave us a hint of a possible crypto buff coming very soon. So someone on Twitter asked Jason McCord, who is obviously a dev at Respawn, when is crypto going to be getting a buff, because as a crypto main, I feel like he can be a liability having to tap into his drone every time he needs to scout. Now I think that right there in itself is the point of crypto. He's supposed to be a liability in his drone, because the drone already gives him so much information, right? That's the point of actually using crypto. It's a risk if you want to go in your drone, but it also gives you some sort of reward because you get so much information on the enemies. You can also EMP the enemies as well. So to me, crypto needs to be a liability in his drone. That's the point of crypto, right? That's how he remains balanced in my opinion. Now Jason McCord responded and said that they're still talking about stuff, still most likely a ways out, but they do agree that crypto needs something. Now we don't get too much information here about like exactly what the buff is gonna be. It could be a buff to his drone, a buff to his EMP, it could be a buff to his scan range as well. There's so much possible buffs right now that could actually happen to crypto, so we're not exactly sure on what Respawn has in mind. I don't even think that Respawn themselves know what to do with crypto. It's just a very funny situation right now, and if Respawn wants to buff crypto, it needs to be a balanced buff, because as I said, crypto is a tricky legend to buff, because if you buff him too much, he could potentially become very OP, and if you buff him too small, it really won't make a big difference. So I want to ask you guys real quick and let you guys take the floor. How do you think Respawn should buff crypto? What are your ideas right now of a possible crypto buff? Do you want to see his EMP get buffed? Do you want to see like the time it takes to actually activate the EMP get buffed? Do you want to see, as I said, right, his scan range get buffed? How would you guys want to see Respawn go about buffing crypto? Leave all your thoughts down below. I read all my comments, and also guys, a Respawn dev might be watching this video, who knows? So don't be shy, leave your ideas down below. Now we also have some more information about an Octane buff. I made a video, my last video I think was actually about Octane as well, but Respawn is currently actively working on buffing Octane for maybe the season 5 split or maybe even season 6, we're not sure, but an Octane buff is coming very soon. So once again, someone on Twitter asked Jason McCord, would you agree that Octane's movement needs a buff? If not, what are your opinions on it? And Jason McCord replied and said that we struggle with making legends too fast. It really destroys understandable combat when someone can flank and reposition too fast. But we know Octane is speed guy, so it's tough. Now I can't see where Jason is coming from guys. It does make sense from a design standpoint, but before Respawn decided to buff Pathfinder in season 5, Pathfinder could have always done this in the game. Because his grapple was so good and the cooldown was only like 15 seconds back then, he could easily reposition himself, flank around and stuff, and it kind of contradicts exactly what Jason McCord is saying right here, because Octane's sole purpose in this game is supposed to be fast. That's his role, right? And I think if Respawn really knows how to balance out Octane, especially his stim, then this really should not be that much of a big deal. As I said, right, Pathfinder was able to flank, reposition, he was just able to do all of that before he was buffed, well nerfed I should say, in season 5. So it doesn't make sense that Octane shouldn't have that same skill, especially when his whole role, his whole purpose in this game is to be fast, right? So what do you guys think about this? Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Octane needs to be faster, or do you think he's fine the way he is? I think Octane could potentially use a speed boost. It does make sense, his whole character is about being fast. However, it seems as if Respawn is still trying to figure out how exactly they want to buff Octane. So yeah, as always guys, leave your ideas down below. Someone could be watching those ideas, and who knows, it might help us out in the long run. So comment your thoughts, comment your your ideas, and how do you think Octane should be buffed? Alright guys, so next up we have some big news about the gold knockdown shield or self-res in Apex. So if you guys could remember, I made a video talking about how the gold knockdown shield would potentially be seeing a nerf in Apex because pros have been complaining about it being way too good in actual tournaments, right? So not ranked, in actual ALGs and the tournaments. And out of nowhere guys, Josh Medina, who we all know as a producer at Respawn, dropped a huge bombshell and basically said that self-res or gold knockdown shields will be removed from tournaments in Apex. Now this to me, as I previously said, it makes complete sense because when I actually watch these tournaments and stuff and I see the end games, self-res really doesn't make that much sense because all enemies do is kind of like go in a corner and hide, and even if the entire squad is down, it's difficult to actually finish them off and eliminate them when every single team in the end circle is like watching you, waiting for you to go out and risk it all. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense in my opinion, and the removal of self-res in tournaments is a very good idea. So this will not affect the gold knockdown shield in pubs or in ranked or anything like that. This most likely will only be for scrims and for tournaments guys, so like only the pro players really would be affected by this, and I think every single pro player really wants to see this as well, so it does make sense. Now if you guys actually watch competitive Apex, let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think it makes sense, and how do you think this will impact matches and tournaments on a whole? Let me know. Now I want to end off this video and show you guys some very interesting stats about like the most powerful legends right now in Apex, and these stats show us the legends with the highest damage per match and highest kills per match as well. And as you can see, these stats right here are very revealing, and it also shows us a lot about what's actually taking place right now in Apex. So in terms of legends with the highest damage per match, Pathfinder actually leads the pack because he does 491 average damage per match. Wraith is second with 482 damage, and Lifeline is third with 472 damage. So I now see why Respawn is so like hesitant in buffing Lifeline, because compared to other legends right now in the game, Lifeline has some very good stats. I'm actually surprised to see Bloodhound last on this list. They only have 393 damage, and I would just assume that if you have Bloodhound's abilities, you most likely would be able to do more damage in a game because you can see where enemies are. But I guess I was wrong. People are just not very good with Bloodhound, I guess. Now in terms of legends with the highest kills per match, we have Lifeline first guys, and she has 1.60 kills per match, which again, it makes me realize why Respawn doesn't want to buff Lifeline because her stats are very impressive. Pathfinder is second with 1.58 kills per match, and Wraith is third with 1.54 kills per match. And surprisingly, Loba, who was just released in season 5, is actually fourth with 1.46 kills per match. And once again, Bloodhound is last with 1.12 kills per match. I won't be surprised if Respawn decides to give Bloodhound yet another buff because of all of these low stats, because I personally was not expecting to see Lifeline at the top of these lists and Bloodhound at the very bottom of these lists. So yeah, are you guys surprised by these stats, and who do you actually main right now in Apex? Let me know. Now that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. As always, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on these crypto and octane buffs, the self-res being removed in tournaments, and these brand new legend stats as well. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in some more Apex. Till next time.